All right, we've just started the recording process. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming. My name is Keith Carberry, and this is PLS Daily. We are live, local, international, and very loud sometimes. So I will get loud and excited because there are some things that I like to share. Basically, what we do every single day here is we talk about different parts of what you need to be more successful online or offline if you have an offline business. This whole show is sponsored by the Power Lead System. The Power Lead System is one of my favorite, if not right now, my favorite program or service out there in the market because it allows me to save time. It allows me to stop wasting time. And if you want to learn more about the Power Lead System, if this is the first time you've ever been here, welcome. Above here, you might need to use your scroll bar, but at the very top right-hand side and top left-hand side of your monitor, again, you might need to use your scroll bar to see it. You'll see a button that says, text that says, See How It Works. Click on that, and once you click on See How It Works, it'll open up a new window. A video may or may not start. If it automatically starts, please pause that video and go back and revisit that page after this presentation. Again, the PLS Daily Show is sponsored or powered by the Lead System. And the service that we're using right now is a service of mine. It's a webcasting service called VirCast. And we're very proud of it, and we love the way it works 99% of the time. When things go bad, it's just the way it is. You know, you have to expect that with technology. But we always have a workaround. And again, I hope that you guys can see everything that you need to see. You should see the word that says outsourcing successfully. And again, that's what we're going to be talking about. I don't know how many people have used outsourcing. And if you have used it, hopefully you were able to use it and you were successful using it. I personally use outsourcing every single day. And I usually, for the most part, the first time I ever outsourced, I outsourced graphics for a graphic artist. And now I've got several programmers working on different parts of different services that I've created or created that I'm having my programmer create for me. And 99% of the time I use a service called Odesk. I think Odesk is very good with programmers. And for outsourcing graphics, I use Crystal Pro Covers. So if you look for the word Crystal Pro Covers, the person's name is Henny. He's absolutely fantastic. He's done some great things for me, and we're on our way to having a really cool new website coming up. But I've learned a lot of things along the way, and this presentation is certainly to help you. If you've never outsourced, or if you have outsourced and it wasn't real successful, here's a way to make it a little bit more successful. So in this guide, you're going to discover the world of outsourcing, and you'll be amazed at how you can free up your time and energy. I can't tell you how many times I'm frustrated. I'm actually right now going through a frustration phase with learning email delivery system, and I'm now hiring somebody for that specific niche so that I don't have to worry about it anymore. And in fact, if you outsource correctly, your business will actually grow. You will end up with more customers, more time to create products, more emails to answer, and more requests from JV partners. And it's absolutely true. So why do you actually want to outsource? We just kind of mentioned that, right? Probably the first thing you think of when you hear the word outsource is, how much is it going to cost me? All you see are the dollar signs off in your head. Bing, bing, bang, ka-ching, right? You may be surprised to find out that outsourcing is not that expensive, and it's really worth the money. I've mentioned this before on several different shows. You can simply go to Fiverr.com and pay $5 to get some things outsourced. If you don't think that's worth your money, then good night, Irene. You can also potentially save money on resources by outsourcing. For example, graphic software can be really expensive and requires a huge, huge learning curve. Outsourcing can be a great alternative in this case, and I just mentioned that. My background, and I know a lot of people here don't know my background, and you might not care, but I am an artist, and I know how long it takes to do arts. It takes a long, long time. I gave up art. In fact, I won the largest award I got a full scholarship to the Rhode Island School of Design back in 1982. I know I'm dating myself, and I never used it because I was an artist, and artists are kind of crazy, right? So back in 1982, when I was 18 years old, and I should have used it, I just went out and I kind of had some fun. But in any case, I do have an art background. I do understand it. I do know how long it takes to do it, and it's not an easy thing to do. So outsourcing that is really can be vital to your success. You want to consider outsourcing before you need it. One of the easiest ways to start outsourcing is to make a list of all the jobs which A, you dislike during, and or B, which you are not good at. Even though I'm good at art, I'm good at Photoshop. I don't understand the layers. To me, everything's two-dimensional, not 3 or 4 or 5-dimensional. And you have to understand those layers, and it's mind-boggling to me that there's more than one layer, right? I'm not like an onion. I don't have a lot of layers. Start looking for someone to help you with these tasks, obviously, right? I'm not good at this. Find somebody that can help you with those tasks. Doing this will get you used to the process of outsourcing, and it could help you find reliable staff members. Don't make the mistake of waiting until you have thriving with tons of day-to-day tasks that have to be done. Find someone before you really need it, right? Is that a mistake that I've made in the past? Absolutely. Hopefully it's not a mistake that you will make. What types of tasks can be outsourced? Well, there's a whole slew of them. Payroll. Now, I know many people in here might not have payroll concerns right now, but you might, right? Hiring. Finding someone to hire. You can hire somebody to hire somebody, right? Call centers. My partner and I are right now in the midst of looking for call centers to help us with support issues, because we believe one of our products that we're going to be releasing soon it's going to need call centers. Customer service. Same kind of idea, right? Outsourcing jobs that are popular for online marketers include setting up a shopping cart. If you ever wanted to have an e-commerce and you're not sure exactly how to set up that shopping cart, find someone to do it. You know, it's great to learn how to do things, but personally I think it's better to know where to find the people who do it for you, right? If you know, one of the things is, I remember when I was on the phones at a stock brokerage company, I didn't know all the answers, but I knew where to find all the answers. And knowing where to find all the answers is just as good as knowing the answers, right? Finding somebody to outsourcing your business to put things that you're not very good at is just as good as being able to do it yourself, right? Autoresponder message creation, it's huge. Right now there's a lot of promoting a particular product that talks about autoresponder message creation. And by the way, Power Lead System has its already built-in autoresponder message creation, but you can always have more, right? Email list management, creating membership, setting up affiliate software. That's big, setting up affiliate software. Imagine having a great system and you want to be able to have affiliates help promote that system for you. You don't have software for it? You're in tough shape. Here are some other tasks that outsourcing can do. Create traffic. If I just had some traffic, right? Now, one of the things I personally like to do is create traffic. So if I like to create traffic, might not want to outsource that, keep that for myself, but send the SEO and the copywriting and the transcriptions from meetings and the secretarial duties and the graphics for ebooks for something else so that I can do traffic generation. Imagine having to do all of this stuff. That's why a lot of people in the internet marketing world, unfortunately, are not as successful as they could be, because they're trying to do all these things. They're trying to wear all these hats. And as I mentioned yesterday, you're trying to work in your business and not on your business. If you're doing all of these tasks, you're working in your business and not on your business. And as I mentioned yesterday, what's working on your business? Working on your business is looking at 30,000 feet up and looking at the big picture and saying, okay, what are the statistics? How can we improve certain places? How can we? You can't even ask those questions if you're focusing on traffic generation, SEO, research, copywriting, transcripts, secretarial duties, graphics. If you're doing all that stuff, you can't even think about working on your business. You're too busy working in your business, right? Outsourcing to people in other countries is popular. In fact, I believe it's the most popular way of outsourcing, and they're seen in many ways of saving money. So yes, you can save money that way too. This is why currently outsourcing to places like India, where my programmer is from, and the Philippines is on the increase. The Philippines is very good, by the way, or if you're in America and you're looking for somebody who speaks very clear English and understands English, the Philippines has a whole slew of people that can help you in terms of marketing. Here's something that I did, and I'll give you a great example of how that worked for me. And at some point, I'm going to be working on my business here. If you don't know this already, we have my partner and I have a great text message marketing business. And if you don't use it, it's just there as a great business, but not a used service. Well, when I first came out with that last year, I hired a gentleman from the Philippines, and I can't remember how much I paid him. I think I was paying him $8 an hour to make phone calls. I gave him basically a big book of names of pizza shops and sub shops in the Boston, Massachusetts area. Those names, and he made phone calls and said that he said Keith Carberry is going to be here in your area from 2 to 4 o'clock this week. What day would be great for him to come by to show you a free way to make some money? That's all he said, something along those lines. And that's all he did, and he spoke English very well. And if people asked him what it was all about, he would just say this is a free service, and he'd like to know if you'd be interested in learning more about the free service. And as soon as I got a lead, or excuse me, an appointment, he would contact me and let me know about appointments. So I was going out for a while there. I was going out on appointments every single day. After my shows like this, I would go out on 2 or 3 appointments, and I closed almost every single one of those appointments. And I'm telling you this, and it wasn't an easy thing to close, by the way, but I closed almost every single one of these appointments. But this is what they did with the Philippines. So the Philippines is a great place to use for somebody who speaks very clear English language. India, in my opinion, for me, has been the best place to outsource for people looking for programmers. It's been very good for programmers. The biggest issue can be language one, as I was mentioning. They may not completely understand your instructions, and that's true with my programmer. Sometimes he doesn't understand it, but there's a way to do it. So you might want to record a video. I do that all the time using Screencast. I'll record a 5-minute video on exactly what I want to do and exactly what I want from him. So I give him my English language and I give him a visual, and that solves our problem. Be clear on what you want done. Last week, or 2 weeks ago, I hired a person. I've mentioned a little while ago, I've got an autoresponder system that I'm working on, and there are certain parts of that autoresponder that my programmer can't handle, and there's certain parts of that autoresponder system that I can't or my programmer handle. So I outsourced, and I needed a certain type of programmer to do something. Well, I wasn't very clear on what I wanted. I thought I was, but because I don't know enough to know enough of what to say, I didn't provide enough information. And because I didn't provide enough information, here's what I got. I got about 100 people applying for the job, number one, which is huge to sort out. And then I got someone that I thought was perfect for the position. Well, after 48 hours, maybe even more, 72 hours of hiring him, and spending a lot of time on Skype with him, I found out that he had no idea. He knew how to do a lot of stuff, but he had no idea how to do what I needed him to do. So I had to fire him. So you need to make sure you understand exactly what you want, and you put detailed instructions to exactly what you want. A good way to overcome this is to write down detailed instructions the next time you actually do the task, right? So if this is something that you actually do, write down instructions of exactly what you've done. Create guidelines or manuals. Another good idea is to create step videos, as I mentioned a minute ago, or guides on what you want to get done. I believe videos are the best way to do it, not videos of yourself talking, but videos of screen videos of exactly what you want done. This is easy to do, and having a visual can be extremely beneficial to a new person. If your outsourcers are to post on your blog or add autoresponder emails for you, show them the complete process. This includes logging into your account, creating a blog post, adding keywords and tags, and publishing or scheduling your posts. Once you have your process written down or captured in video, you must then clearly define what job the task involves. You don't want to tell someone to post one blog post to your blog each day for a month. You need to do the following. Provide them with guidelines as how many words you expect, 250 to 300 or more. Give them keyword or subject headings to work with. If you want photos, provide resource links to give them a few examples. And that's so important. So it's not just giving them, telling them what to do. You need to give them step-by-step guideline. And let them know what you expect, right? Here's what I need done, and I expect it to be done by this time, or here's what I need to be done. I expect for it to be done efficiently, or I expect it to be done extreme high quality. Always remember that you are the one doing the hiring and paying. Therefore, explain what you expect and what your payment terms are, and be explicit. Don't say I need this article or header in a few days. Tell them you need it by a certain date. This way, both have a deadline to meet. Payment terms can be tricky, and I can guarantee you they can be. If money's involved, it's always tricky, right? But they must be agreed upon before the job is started. I'll give you an example. My partner, he's also like a partner to me these days. My programmer, we initially paid 100% through the Odesk service. And now that we're so close and tight, we know that the Odesk service takes a little extra money to the side and doesn't pay the full amount. And when they do get paid, it takes a while for the money to actually get in his pocket. So I now wire the money to him. It costs me a little more money to wire the money, but it saves me money in the long run. So, for instance, if the transaction was to cost, let's say that I needed to send him $1,000, and I sent it through Odesk or I sent it through PayPal. At the end of the day, he might get $900. So what he'll do is he'll tell me, okay, send me $1,000 minus $100. So I'm going to send him $900, but it's going to cost me $40 to wire it. So the cost to me is $940 instead of $1,000. He gets the same amount of money, and he gets it quicker. So these are different terms of agreements that you can have with your somebody that you outsource. A contract can be useful for long-term assignments and will contain all the information regarding the payment of the job. Now, you can pay by the hour or pay by the job. Most of the time, I personally have been paying by the hour. However, with this particular program, this autoresponder system, I wanted to pay by the job rather than pay by the hour. And I think, and I'm probably right in this, by paying by the job, it's taken a little bit more time because I know my programmer has other customers, so he's not going as fast as if I was to pay him by the hour. But by paying him by the job, it's not costing me as much either. Get them to explain the project to you, right? I don't know how many times I've actually, I do that all the time too, right? Even to my wife. She says, take the trash out, and I say, so you want me to take it out? Let me get this right. You want me to put on my clothes, my winter clothes, so I can open up the door, grab the trash, put it outside in the trash barrel? You want me to do that? So get them to explain exactly what the project is, so that they understand. All parties understand that. And I will say this about my programmer: he's excellent at that. This is something that I'm not good at lately, and I need to improve on it. And it's something that is very, very important. It's just as important as it is here. When you're sending out emails through the Power Lead system, when you're capturing leads through the Power Lead system, you want to have reports, don't you? Because that's working on your business. And the same thing is true with this. This is another important step, and depending upon the project, you could request either a daily or daily update. It is a helpful way to ensure your project stays on track, and it provides a way for you to check upon the progress your employees are making. If 2 days later they are still working on the same section, then they might have to they may have run into some problems, right? You might want to ask them what's going on. Easily offer suggestions and and advice if necessary. Excuse me. When placing a job or project, you are not normally required to make a payment. Once you hire someone, then fees and commissions come into play. Percentage rates will vary from company to company, so look at this closely before making your final decision. As you are considered the employer, you must make sure that all your tax paperwork is correct and up to date. This is solely your responsibility. Once you're ready in the hiring process, you will need to actually post your job offer. There are certain requirements that you will want to look at ahead of time, including, number one, finding out how much it costs to post your project. Most of the time, like with Odesk, it's free. What is the fee and commission structure, and what will it cost you? What payment method do they accept? Do they have an escrow system in place? Can you communicate away from the site, like a Skype or something? One of the things that I've recently done, and I was not successful with it, which I need to revisit shortly, is putting some Craigslist on the business section. I paid whatever, $25 for an ad for a salesperson. If one of the things you need to have as a salesperson, you can certainly do that on Craigslist. It'll cost you something like $25, and you can do it 100% commission, so you're not actually having any money go to them, right? Until they make a sale, right? When you post your project, you will need to describe the job in as much detail as possible. Make your job description clear, detailed, and concise. You post your deadline and your payment price. Take the time to make your offer professional, and you will attract a higher quality worker. Once your project is published, you will begin to receive lots of applications. Setting up interviews on Skype can be extremely helpful. During your interview, ask them their experience, their likes and dislikes. You may find that this person has skills in many different areas, ones that could help you in your business in the future. But isn't it true when we're talking about outsourcing here, isn't it true that just basically every business that has one employee is outsourcing, right? Isn't that the way to grow your business, by outsourcing? So when you say outsourcing, you're growing your business. You're not hurting your business. You're growing your business, providing you use the right people to outsource with. A little recap. Give the project a clear project description. Show that you know exactly what you want. Agree upon number of revisions which you expect. Example, My graphics designer that I'm working on with my autoresponder system, he has 3 levels of pricing. He has here's what I've done for you for graphics. You have up to 3 revisions, and it's going to cost X amount of dollars. 10 revisions, X amount of dollars. Unlimited revisions, more money, right? Agree upon a number of revisions which you expect. Reply to questions regarding project quickly. Provide feedback once the project is completed. They love feedback, and you should like to give it to them if it's good feedback, right? When interviewing a prospect, you can ask for references and examples of their work, something that I have not done and will guarantee you that I will be doing in the future based on my last I had to fire before I even really started. Most professional freelancers will have their own website with a portfolio on it. You can also do a quick search on their name and see what it comes back with. You can see if they are involved in any other businesses or if they have blogs or websites created. This is an easy way to check on the quality of their content. The easiest way to pay someone is normally via PayPal. I love PayPal, and hopefully you guys do too, but there are problems with PayPal. Look into using their mass payment service as this can possibly save you money on PayPal fees, which can really eat into a chunk of your money. All right, so we're a couple places where you can actually find outsourcers, and I've mentioned Odesk before, so I'll mention it again. Elance, there's Odesk, there's Shelancers.com, there's Freelancers.com, there's VA, which is Virtual Assistant Network.com, and I mentioned this too, Fiverr, and RightSwaps. I'm going to keep this up for a second here if anybody wants to write that down. That's Odesk, Shelancers, Freelancers, VA Networking, Fiverr, and RightSwaps. I'm a fan of Odesk, and it's probably because I'm used to it and I understand how it works. And they're all basically the same. I'm also a huge fan of Fiverr. I've done a few things with Fiverr, and they've come out very, very well. Utilizing forums and social sites. One of the most well-known forums is the Warrior Forum, and you can get bogged down in the Warrior Forum big time. So try to schedule time while you're on there, because time will be taken away from you if you're in there too much. This forum provides you with a huge selection of people willing to work for you at a reasonable price. You can either post your task on the site or look through the Warrior for Hire section and see if there's anyone who has requirements. Here are some additional places which you can utilize. Digital Point, SitePoint, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, big. Craigslist. There's some new things going on with LinkedIn that are phenomenal. I talked to a friend of mine who's using the LinkedIn service to collect a lot of leads, and it's working for him very well. So there are some great things going on with LinkedIn. Online search for outsourcers. Okay, the following is a list of keywords which will help you find outsourcers. Now, I want to remind you that this is being recorded, and we will have a replay up in about an hour after this live presentation. And all you need to do is just go to VirCast.com/classroom, and instead of coming to the room live, you'll be placed in our waiting room, and inside the waiting room will be this presentation. So if you can't write all these words down now, you can pause the video at a later date. But here are some things that you can look for: outsources, outsource providers, outsourcing. Just really look for outsourcing. Ghostwrite is another one to look for that's really good. Offshore outsourcing, that's another really good. Outsourcing projects. So I think you get the idea. Typing the word outsourcing, you'll find something when you Google those keywords. Protecting your investment. The benefit of using an outsourcing company such as Elance is that you have a payment called escrow. To use escrow, you will need to deposit money into your account for the project. Another benefit of using web-based outsourcing sites like Elance and Odesk is that they put their providers through a series of tests. The person must then pass the test to be allowed to advertise specific skills. All right? I think that's really important that you know that. But you have to make sure that the skill set that they pass actually is what you're looking for. Unlike what I was doing, I was looking for an email guy that knew everything about email, and the email guy that I found knew that particular part of the email service that I wanted to find out about. But that's okay. We move on, right? Helpful tools for outsources. For me, the person that I'm going to hire through outsourcing needs to have access to Skype. Google Docs is also, I love Google Docs. My problem is sometimes I forget to go back to Google Docs, but my programmer and I, when we're talking for an hour on Skype to make sure that we know exactly what we want to do and talk about some ideas, once those ideas are done and we say, okay, we definitely want to have a certain feature added, we go to Google Docs and we write that we want this feature added. Once that feature that we want added is completed, it's noted down in Google Docs. It's a great way to have Google Docs or some other file sharing project out there. Mind maps, that might be great for you. Hate it. Online conference rooms, woo! Like this right here, right? Do whatever you can to protect yourself in case things do go wrong, because things do go wrong. Just like in today's webcast, my PowerPoint presentation system was down. But that's okay because we found a way to work around it. This way, you can easily pick up the pieces and carry on with business as usual. When giving out passwords and access to your accounts, create separate user accounts for each outsourcer. Make sure you have backups of all your sites and documents. Keep copies of contracts and invoices as they come back to you if any project in escrow gets disputed. I love scanning. That way it saves better. These tips have hopefully given you a foundation on which to sourcing and grow your business. You will have discovered how to save money and time. In addition, you will have more energy to put into developing a business which you can be proud of. When working with individuals who consider themselves to be freelancers, respect their goal of creating their own business. Treat them with respect even though you are paying them. This will always, and this is so true because typically you're not the only one that's paying them, right? This way, you are more likely to strike up a fantastic business relationship and gain yourself long-term valuable employees or business leads. Good luck! All right, let me go back live here. Hopefully you enjoyed this presentation. And we're going to be back with some other things tomorrow. Please come back here, I would say, about an hour from now if you want to see this presentation again, and pause the video to look at certain things that you might want to have had. My name is Keith Carberry. Kaboom, kabang, kaching. I will see you tomorrow. Same time, same channel. Batman. Adios, everybody.